body, baby, show me.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. So it's really nice out today. I'm about to go to Hayden's house because I spend a lot of time there. It seems like, well, I haven't been over there a lot the last couple weeks, but anyway, we're gonna go over there, spend time with Hayden. He got a really cool thing for at like a Goodwill today that he wanted me to. Well, he didn't want me to check it out. He just bought it today. He just showed me he had it. But we're gonna go over there and check it out. May do something like that maybe do a video on RT2 for that. I don't know just yet, but. I've got the POV camera with me. I'm going to try to actually film with this today. I don't know what I want to film with it. I may just blabber into it for a little while. Why not? Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this weather because it's actually halfway nice out today. It's like 80-something degrees. It's like 80 degrees exactly out right now. And I'm a huge fan of the fact that it's not 100 out right now. So anyway, we're going to head on over to Hayden's and have a fun day. Alright guys, so we are now in the truck. It's been a pretty good afternoon. Me and Hayden hung out pretty much most of the day. It's 10 o'clock now. I left the house at like 3. So I'm going to go home and do some studying while I'm editing this video. I say studying, I'm actually reading over some stuff for school. I got some notes to take and some just general research to do. But me and Hayden hung out most of the day. We talked about like stuff for the S2000. We found that we were like just mulling over like wheel ideas for the car and stuff like that. I don't know if Hayden's actually going to get wheels anytime soon, but who knows? We were just drooling over some of the wheels they have at Fitment. So we found a lot of really cool wheels and stuff that the S2000 could easily rock quite well. So I'm also going to apologize in advance in case this seat squeaks because that started about a week ago. The seat's been squeaking ridiculously, and it's been very, very, very annoying. So I apologize to those who hear it, because it is very loud and rather annoying. I usually keep the windows down and the music up just so I don't hear it. So this video is going to be a little bit different. Me and my dad just finished up watching the show Hyperdrive recently. And one thing that I've always been, like, I was thinking about as I was watching the show was what cars would I use? What would be, like, my ideal setup for a car that I would drive on the show? And this is going to be a bit of a discussion video for you guys as well to take part in. If you guys have seen Hyperdrive and you didn't, or if you guys haven't seen Hyperdrive, pretty much the show is pretty much like you take American Ninja Warrior and Top Gear and fuse them together. The cars take over tons of obstacles and all sorts of other little things like that. It's a very cool show. It's a very intriguing concept. They have all sorts of backgrounds of drivers, drift racers, they had some drag cars on the show. It's a very intriguing show, and it's very fun to watch. No matter what audience you're a fan of. If you like drag cars, they have drag cars on the show, stuff like that. And Top Gear America's Rutledge would host the show. So that was probably like not my big thing on why I definitely wanted to watch it. Was Rutledge's, it was a huge part of my childhood when I was growing up watching Top Gear US with him, Tanner Faust, and Adam Ferreira. So I really loved Rutledge as like a host. I felt like he fits the bill perfectly for that. So I knew it was a show I had to watch. Like I said, me and my dad just finished up the first season. And my mom made a comment the other night that I should try to get on the show. And I told her, I was like, I have no vehicle that is in a good enough position to run on that show. This can't drift. For one thing, it's an open diff, and two, drifting a conventional auto is very hard. So it's something I don't want to do. Plus, it's just big and heavy. It doesn't have a lot of horsepower to handle like the precision and all that stuff. So I would not want to run this there. But would I run there? So I've got down to like 3 cars that I would run on that. Obviously, one that's not part of that 3 that is pretty much a given is the Mustang. If you guys haven't watched the series, I'm going to try not to spoil it, but there was lots of Mustangs on the show. So it was a very common choice of a car for the show. Lots of Mustangs. There were several 3 valves. There was a 65 fastback. I mean, there was plenty of Mustangs. There's a S197 V6 even. So, I mean, there was plenty of Mustangs. If you wanted your Mustang fix on a show, there was plenty. So I think that's a given. That's a car that would almost be one that I would choose because it seemed to do a pretty good job in the show. I mean, there were so many of them. But what else would I choose? One car I thought about would be the Honda S2000. Now, I'm not just saying that because Hayden's my friend, and I gotta compliment the S2000 once every video because that's something I tend to do nowadays. Because I honestly believe it fits the bill greatly. While drifting may not be the car's strong suit as it doesn't have a lot of torque, it does have the wheelbase to snap around a lot, like a drift car should. So you can drift an S2000, it's just not as easy as, say, a 240SX or something of that nature, like a 350Z or something like that. I would pick the 350 if I like the VQ more, which I can't really put myself in a Z as a drift car, despite the fact it's a very good drift car to learn on. I just can't, because that means I'd have to build a VQ properly. And I've stated my opinion on VQs multiple times on this channel. I don't really feel like I need to go into it more into why you'll never see a VQ chassis on this channel, of mine at least. The S2000 would fit well because it's nimble, it's moderately quick. So the actual road course elements of Hyperdrive would be really good for the car, but it would also not choke as hard as, say, some of the drag cars in the show did. I believe that there are angle kits and stuff available for the car, so I'm not concerned that much about angle kits and stuff like that. I would pick a Corvette. I think that would be a better car than the S2000 for the show, but the problem is the Corvette doesn't have all the drift parts that you would need for that show. You need long travel suspension, you need a lot of stuff for that show. If you haven't already, go check out Fielding Shredder's video on it. Fielding Shredder was a racer this year. He did a whole video about how he prepped his car for the event and all that stuff. Very cool stuff just to learn how the show worked and how to actually prep a car for something like that, because it is a very, very harsh show. So what would my other choice be? Because like I said, the S2000 seems to fit the bill quite well. The AE86 Corolla would be my second pick. Why is that? Because S13s and S14s are very common drift cars, and AE86s are pretty common too, but you don't see them quite as much as S14s and S13s. Which is exactly why I do it, because it's a car you don't see very often on something like a show like Hyperdrive. In fact, there were 0 AE86s participating, which was actually kind of a surprise to me. I kind of expected there to be more 86s on the show. There was actually more Corvettes than there were 86s on the Hyperdrive this year, on the first season. I'll just continue once I get through this light. Another reason I picked the A86 is due to its similarities to the S chassis when it comes to engine swaps. Sorry, this guy's being a bit of a douchebag, so I'm being that guy. Anyway, like I was saying, so yeah, the A86 is much like the S chassis in that it can take engine swaps. You can get stuff like 2Js and 1Js and stuff like that in the car. I don't know about LS as much. I haven't seen, on the internet, any LS swaps in the 86. I wouldn't be surprised if it's already been done. People are pretty crazy, so I would not be surprised if someone has done an LS swap on an A86 chassis. But that's why I would choose one. It's uncommon compared to the S chassis. Granted, they're a lot harder to find in the U.S., but they're still really cool cars. I'd love to use one for the show. That's kind of my number 2 choice. The S2000 is my number 1 choice. So would my number 3 be? And it's really hard for me because there was so many cool cars on Hyperdrive, but I wanted to do something that no one's done on the show yet. So that takes out pretty much everything. I mean, Mustangs I can't choose because of that rule. I can't pick Corvettes because there was a singular Corvette on the show. Camaros were on the show. Dodges, the Charger was on the show, so I'm going to rule out every generation of Charger. There was even a Huracan on the show. So it was quite a mix of cars. There was a lot of variety. So what would my third one be? And it was pretty hard for me to even come up with an idea, but Mark IV Supra. Why? Because why not? 2J power. The car is very wild, very crazy, very good drift car, even apparently to some people. The 2J is in the car already. It'd be the most expensive car that I could pick out of it, but it'd be awesome at the same time. I mean, who wouldn't want to compete in a Netflix TV show with one of the icons of the automotive world, such as the Mark IV? I know I would. I would love to participate in Hyperdrive with a Mark IV Supra. And I'd have a blast with it. I mean, it would be something that I would spend way too much time toying with and, getting ready for the show. It'd just be so fun. I really would love to run a Mark IV. I think the reason it's number 3, though, but behind the AE and the S2000 is due to the fact that it's expensive and it'll take a lot of money to get it ready to race. It's not as easy as an S chassis or an AE86, maybe even an S2000 on that list as well. I'd love to do it though. I think it'd be awesome to have like one of the Japanese icons on the track there. So that's my 3 cars that I would choose for Hyperdrive. What are your 3 cars that you'd pick? Let me know any ideas you have in the comments below. There's a lot of cars I could think of, really, that I would use for Hyperdrive, just cars that fit the bill best. The Viper, the Corvette, I mean, heck, why not even the 05 Ford GT? Because that'd be fun. I mean, who wouldn't want to drift around in an old Ford GT? There's just lots of cool cars that you can do. So leave me some ideas in the comments for what you guys would choose to run on Hyperdrive. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. And hope you guys enjoyed the video.
We'll be right back.